Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. The royal family is facing renewed turmoil as divisions emerge between King Charles and the Prince of Wales over how to handle Sarah, Duchess of York, and Prince Andrew following revelations about the Duchess's correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein. According to a report in the Daily Mail, the king has resisted calls to completely disown his brother and former sister-in-law, pointing to their loyalty to both him and the crown, in contrast with the Sussexes. However, he is said to be under huge pressure to expel Sarah Ferguson permanently after emails showed her describing Epstein as a supreme friend and apologizing to him for distancing herself publicly. In recent days, at least 7 charities have severed ties with the Duchess. Teenage Cancer Trust, which she had supported for 35 years, announced she is no longer its patron, saying, "We have made the decision to end our relationship with the Duchess of York, and as of today, she is no longer a patron of Teenage Cancer Trust. We would like to thank the Duchess of York for her support." Other organizations, including Julia's House Hospice, Prevent Breast Cancer, the Natasha Allergy Research Foundation, and the British Heart Foundation, have followed suit, with the Natasha Foundation's founders saying, "We were disturbed to read of Sarah, Duchess of York's correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein." While the king is reportedly reluctant to cut ties with the Yorks, the Prince of Wales is taking a firmer stance. A royal source told the paper, "William feels even more strongly than the king that Andrew and Fergie are an embarrassment and will be urging his father to act. The optics of that pair of chances guffawing away at events looks terrible." William is said to favour barring both Andrew and Sarah from attending public family events, including Christmas gatherings, and is pressing for their eviction from Royal Lodge, their 30-room home near Windsor Castle. Andrew has so far resisted a move to the smaller Frogmore Cottage. The correspondence at the centre of the scandal dates back to 2011, shortly after Sarah Ferguson apologised in the media for accepting £15,000 from Epstein. In an interview at the time, she said, "I abhor pedophilia and any sexual abuse of children and know that this was a gigantic error of judgment on my behalf. I am just so contrite I cannot say. Whenever I can, I will repay the money and have nothing ever to do with Jeffrey Epstein ever again." However, barely a month later, she sent Epstein a private message in which she wrote, "I know you feel hellaciously let down by me, and I must humbly apologize to you and your heart for that. You have always been a steadfast, generous, and supreme friend to me and my family." She added, "Please understand, I didn't want to hurt Andrew one more time. I was in overriding fear. I am sorry." Lee Cohen on GB News writes, "For an institution that relies heavily on public goodwill, the British monarchy cannot afford to be held hostage by irresponsible, self-serving members. This is not an isolated misstep, but the culmination of a long trail of questionable conduct, cash-for-access schemes, tone-deaf interviews, and the persistent perception that the Yorks have monetized royal connections for personal gain. The royal family should now put self-preservation over sentiment. That means formal public distancing, revoking titles where possible, removing references from official websites, and excluding the Yorks from royal events and occasions. This isn't cruelty, it's stewardship. The crown belongs not just to the Windsors, but to the nation it represents. Protecting it requires drawing clear lines. The late beloved Queen was known for her sense of duty and her ability to rise above personal grievances. Honouring that legacy means defending the institution she upheld, not enabling those who undermine it." For Sky News, Sean Coughlin asks, "Is the Epstein email one scandal too many for Duchess of York?" He writes, "Her fallibility has been part of her likability. She is good with people, with an outgoing friendliness and sense of fun, which is why Charities have previously wanted her as an ally. She didn't get an invitation to the coronation of her ex-brother-in-law, but didn't moan about it. Then she appeared to be back in the fold when in 2023 she was invited for a royal Christmas at Sandringham, her first time there in decades. The following Christmas there was more royal approval for her, with grateful murmurings from the palace that she had helped persuade Prince Andrew to stay away from family events in the wake of his involvement in the Chinese spy scandal. She had also gained public respect for her energetic efforts encouraging women to get checks after her own breast cancer diagnosis and operation. But now this latest revelation is causing profound problems. There couldn't be a more toxic connection than with Epstein, and it is going to be particularly difficult when so much of her charity work was associated with children. In The Guardian, Marina Hyde writes, Epstein had given her money, of course. She says 15 grand. Then again, she says a lot of things. The Duchess's debts were reported to be £5 million at the time because she has always spent money, other people's money, like water. The more I think about this fashionable line of defense, the more bizarre I find it. If I had a wildly rich and incredibly connected friend and they still ended up going to prison for 18 months, then I would simply assume this friend had done the thing they were convicted of, and most probably much worse. It's called being realistic. I'm not saying everyone in the world should have known this about Epstein back in 2008. Epstein obviously cast things differently. In his nutty NYT interview, he likened himself to Gulliver, shipwrecked among the diminutive denizens of Lilliput. Gulliver's playfulness had unintended consequences. Mr. Epstein said that is what happens with wealth. There are unexpected burdens as well as benefits. Do me a favour, and yet Fergie herself has played a version of this tiny violin for decades, and will again now she has been found out again. Her victim narrative has been surprisingly durable, even though she has helped burn through more fortunes than almost every other person on this planet will ever see. £20 million chalets in Verbier, the £15 million mucky mansion, houses she never even moved into, eternal luxury holidays, endless retinues of unnecessary staff. She has poured in more than some of her charities ever will. How many of her financial empires have fallen, only for a new one to rise again when some Kazakh oligarch, sex Gulliver, other mysterious billionaire conveniently turns up in the nick of time to buy her out or bail her out. The king is still doing it, probably dreading the deeper liability of her being outside the tent. It's unclear quite how long that will be able to hold if further emails between Prince Andrew and Epstein emerge, as seems a distinct possibility. Whatever happens, however, this is not victimhood. I'm sure one of Epstein's actual victims could explain the difference. More Palace in just a moment. Hey, don't forget to check out our new series, Crown and Controversy. Season 2 is out. Also, another spin-off series, Crown and Controversy, Norway, the Royal Rebels. We've talked about the Norway group here, and you might be familiar with some of their deeds and misdeeds. It's a fascinating story. Check it out wherever you get your podcasts, Crown and Controversy, Norway, the Royal Rebels. Prince Harry has issued a stark warning as a new UNAIDS short film was unveiled at the United Nations General Assembly in New York. The film featuring Harry aims to rally global support for HIV/AIDS programs at a time when funding is under severe strain. In a statement, the Duke of Sussex said, "Right now, babies are being born with HIV due to interruptions in antiretroviral treatment for their mothers. Without urgent action to reverse these crippling funding cuts, 6 million more people will become infected with HIV, while 4 million will die from AIDS-related causes within the next 4 years. It is not just the at-risk communities that will be affected. We've proven that sustained investment saves lives and builds stronger communities. Abandoning this life-saving work now would be a devastating betrayal of progress and the millions who depend on these essential services." Harry has long been an advocate in the fight against HIV, leading initiatives in countries such as Botswana and Lesotho, and even taking a public HIV test himself in an effort to reduce stigma and encourage awareness. His latest appeal comes amid concern that cuts to international aid could undo decades of progress in tackling the epidemic. William and Kate paid a subtle but moving tribute to the victims of the Southport murders during an unannounced visit to the town. In July 2024, 9-year-old Alice De Silva Aguirre, 6-year-old BB King, and 7-year-old Elise Dot Stancombe were killed when their Taylor Swift-themed dance class was targeted by a knife-wielding teenager on their second visit to the grief-stricken community. The Prince and Princess of Wales met privately with the families of the 3 girls and spent time in their schools to see how pupils and staff are coping more than a year on. At Churchtown Primary School, where Alice and Bibi had been pupils, the couple spoke with classmates and toured a new playground built in the girls' honour. They also met with Alice's parents, Sergio and Alexandra Aguirre, and Bibi's parents, Lauren and Ben King, who gifted them beaded friendship bracelets bearing the words Bibi's Hive After the charity established in her memory, the bracelets echoed the kind worn by Taylor Swift's fans. Both William and Catherine wore them for the remainder of the day. Lauren King said of the visit, "It meant everything. It was really special. I think we're really grateful anyway how BB's been honoured so much in this school, and seeing the Prince and Princess support that and be here, it's just been amazing." Afterwards, the Prince addressed some 700 pupils saying, "Be brave, be joyful, and be kind. This playground is a symbol of how the community has come together to create such a positive place for the pupils of this school. A symbol of remembrance and resilience, a testament that love will always overcome tragedy." Many lives were changed on that terrible day, including countless members of this school community. BB, Alice, and Elsie's friends and classmates have come together to support each other and remember the girls in their own way. Earlier in the day, the couple had visited Farnborough Road Infant and Junior School, where Elsie had been a pupil, and held a private meeting with her parents, Jenny and David Stancombe. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or the app of your choice, and leave us a nice review if you're enjoying the show. Head on over to Facebook to become part of the community there. Just search for Palace Intrigue on Facebook groups or Facebook pages. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue and Good Times.